In a courtroom in Durban, a storm of words is gathering around Duduzile Zuma, daughter of former President Jacob Zuma and a member of parliament. She stands accused in one of South Africa's most charged trials following the violent July 2021 civil unrest. The prosecution asserts she acted not just as a witness or commentator, but as a calculated digital influencer, one whose social media posts helped fan the flames of chaos. The state's case, laid out with methodical precision, contends that between June 29 and July 17, 2021, Zuma used her online platform, boasting some 124,000 followers, to post messages that unlawfully and intentionally amounted to incitement to commit terrorism, public violence, and violate the Riotous Assemblies Act. In a digital age where a tweet can echo through thousands of phones and screens, the prosecution argues she crossed from expression into orchestration. Central to the narrative, behind the scenes of the unrest, 14 days of looting, burning, death, and economic ruin, investigators say they discovered a web of coordination. Some 164 WhatsApp groups were created for the purpose of mobilizing violence. 8 of these are identified as especially active, one based in eThekwini with 316 participants and 103 persons of interest. Though Zuma is not explicitly named in those chat groups, the state asserts she played a catalytic role through her social media reach and status. Because of her public status as Zuma's daughter, coupled with 124,000 ex-followers, what she wrote on her page was taken seriously by people, the prosecution told the court. Her posts, the state says, were not idle commentary but timely signals in a network of unrest. Yet the defendant's camp pushes back hard. Zuma pleads not guilty to all counts. Her defense argues that her online messages, though perhaps politically provocative, did not equate to incitement. She maintains her posts were reactions to the arrest of her father, an event she and many others believe to be unjust, rather than ignition of violence. The charge sheet is stark. Count 1. Incitement to commit the offense of terrorism under the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorist and Related Activities Act. Count 2. Incitement to commit violence. The state claims she instigated, commanded or procured persons to assemble illegally with intent to disturb public peace or infringe others' rights. Count 3. Violation of Section 17 of the Riotous Assemblies Act 17 of 1956, which prohibition of gatherings intended to incite riots. The state portrayed Zuma social media activity as part of a broader criminal value chain underpinning the unrest. It presented data and witness testimony showing how digital alerts were filtered down through WhatsApp groups to instigate street-level violence and looting. Meanwhile, for Zuma and her supporters, this legal heavy hand is tinged with politics. Her defense argues she is being prosecuted not just for alleged wrongdoing, but because of her father's legacy and the electoral clout of the party he now leads, the MK Party. The trial, they say, is as much about power as it is about justice. The clash here is more than personal, it's symbolic. A country still recovering from one of its worst internal convulsions since apartheid, a father and daughter tied to that upheaval, and a legal system testing the extent to which online speech translates into accountability. The case also asks, when does a post become incitement? When does digital influence become criminal conspiracy? For South Africa, the stakes are high. The unrest in 2021 killed more than 300 people and caused widespread destruction. Its legacy still raw. The state says this is not just about one voice on social media. It is about holding actors accountable for unleashing violence behind the facade of protest. The defense, however, sees another dimension. They suggest the prosecution's claims may chill political speech, ask where the line is drawn between commentary and incitement, and whether the focus on Zuma reflects selective enforcement. The questions swirl around who defines influence, who enforces it, and on what terms. On this November morning, as the trial progresses, the courtroom sits at the intersection of tradition and technology, of tweets and terror charges. The notion that someone with hundreds of thousands of followers might commit terrorism via a social media post invites both scrutiny and skepticism. If found guilty, the precedent would ripple outward. a new era where digital activism is policed under terrorism laws. If acquitted, supporters may say the state misjudged speech as expectation of violence. In the tension between law and politics, public safety and expression, the case of Duduzile Zuma will resonate well beyond the walls of the Durban High Court. It may define how a democracy handles the power of online voices in a world where a tweet can follow a bomb.